Welcome to the OFX podcast. I'm Dave Claxton. Along with me is the Atomic Atlas athlete, Bethany McChesney. And yeah, okay. So we're late because I was attacked by Nigerian frauders, but we have triumphed and we'll move on. Um,
Digitally attacked.
yes, I was literally attacked by Nigerian fraud. Is it literally subscription bombs and stealing flights? Anyway, if what was her name here? Let's see. Hold
I
on.
won't say the
I'm
name.
not allowed to say the name? Oh, okay. All right. Have a good flight. Good luck. Uh, anyway,
Enjoy your time in Saudi Arabia.
enjoy your time in Saudi. Yeah. Maybe she's going for a Spartan race.
Nope, that's probably not why she's going there.
You never know. You never know. All right. What do you want to start with? Do you want to start with your Atlas or do you want to start with awards?
Yeah, we can start with my Atlas. Not really a ton to say, but we've like I did try Atlas a while back, but then my brother was in town for Christmas. So my brother, Brad Jansen, he competes in strongman. He's the national champion in his weight category. I think maybe the smallest weight category that exists in strongman, but but that's okay. And so which means he got his pro card this year. So
Awesome.
um yeah, good dude. And we're kind of the opposite when it comes to the type of athlete that we are, but also kind of not. So anyways, he came back and I was like, we always like to go to the gym and we train a little bit and kind of talk about what we're doing and what's coming up and stuff. And so I was like, you have to try this new event that DEKA came out with. It's DEKA Atlas. And because one of the strongman events is where you pick up the giant stones and you
The
lift them
Atlas.
platforms. It is
Atlas
an
ones. Yeah.
Atlas event, yes. And so he's like, yeah, this is right up my alley. This is awesome. And like we've done before, even like with the deck of strong, he was like, the weights are so light, but the rep counts are just,
Yeah.
he does reps of one. And so it's funny because he was counting like all the reps in total in the whole atlas, and he's like, that's as many reps as I would do in a whole week of training. Like, it's just so opposite. But he's a good sport. So we went head to head and did the DEKA Atlas. And it was a lot of fun because there was there's things too where again, so the thrusters at the beginning are so light for him. He has the national record in like the log press for men his size. And so we're like, Brad, listen, this is a long event for you. So long. Do not do the thrusters unbroken. I know it's going to feel light, but just from your cardio standpoint, don't do it. And then he's like, it's too light to put it down. I can't. It's just too light. So I'm like, fine, whatever. And then I had already caught up to him by burpees because
Yeah.
then he was dying cardio wise on burpees. Um, but anyways, yeah, it was just really fun because again, he like the weights are so light and even like he accidentally tossed the med ball over his shoulder once. Whoops. But just the stamina to do 20 reps of something just hits so different, right? Like he doesn't get into an anaerobic state ever in his events really. It's just pure power output. And honestly, he shines the most when the event is a power output, like sandbag tosses and stuff like that. So, yeah, and he was well under the time cap, but I did beat him by a couple minutes. But it was just really fun, like the little hybrid athlete. I did,
Just,
but
just put him in the ground by a couple of minutes. It's okay. Better
yeah.
luck next time.
Yeah, but he's someone too. He was like, that was really fun. Like it would really help him athletic wise he said it's something that he should do more of in his training just to push into, that anaerobic a little bit more once in a while. So he was like, this is an awesome workout. I really enjoyed it. So
There you go.
yeah.
It's interesting to hear the phrase, I need to go longer so I can go anaerobic. Like normally that's kind of
Yeah.
a backwards thing for us. It's like we're aerobic and we want to go faster and go anaerobic. But anyway,
Uh-huh.
Yeah, but I mean, yeah, strongman stuff like what's a long event for strongman? A minute? 2 minutes?
Oh, a minute would be long. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Like
Like
I've
it's
watched him do a long event would be like a deadlift ladder, but it would be done in 30 seconds.
yeah, like one of those medleys where they pick up like an odd object medley or something
Yeah.
they
And then
call
the odd objects change.
it.
Like, yeah, a minute would be a long. Sometimes they'll do a carry, run it, carry back, and it's
Yeah.
like, 20, 30 seconds. Like their events are so short. So yeah, they're usually there's multiple events within the day, so it's exhausting in that way, but it's not. Yeah, a minute would be a long event for him.
That's cool. Well, like I said, I bet you Yancey he'll be happy to hear that. Yeah, I think he saw the post probably too. But it was
Yeah, yeah,
that's
he did. I tagged him in it. So, but he was giving me some pointers on the ball to the shoulder stuff. So,
oh yeah? You'll have to show me.
yeah, there's kind of two techniques based on how heavy the ball is for you. So,
Because right, I just pick it up.
yeah, so it's not quite heavy enough, but as you get fatigued, there's other ways kind of to help the situation, but
Yeah, I know the last time I did it, and I went through, and I think I is one of the few times I can say I probably paced myself too much.
mhm.
At the end, I'm like, okay, I should have maybe gone a little quicker here. But
Yeah.
look forward to that. Yeah, I'm not excited to try. All right, so I was gonna say it's one of my goals for 2025, but it's kind of not
Yeah.
because we don't really know where it's going, right?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I don't know the
It's tough
outcome.
to say really because it's like are you going to compete at a world championship in Atlas? We don't have one yet.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
yeah,
nothing.
to maybe bring down your time is fair to say.
Yeah, yeah, and I think like I know that there's thoughts of putting on some kind of event, like the ultra kind of thing, but there's nothing finalized, nothing for sure. It's all just talk, right? So who knows? So I mean, I can't really make it a prime goal
Yeah.
until
I don't think this is the year for that with Atlas yet, but
maybe the next year. But since we're talking about goals anyway, before we get to the thing, let's just quickly go over because we're going the New Year thing. This is all New Year stuff. Actually, when
yeah.
this will come out New Year's Day or the day after New Year's Eve.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
So yes, very New Year. Happy New Year.
Yes, Happy New Year,
Happy
Dave.
New Year. Yes. Um, okay. So I wanted to go through kind of what my goals were last year and what your goals were last year, how we did,
Mhm.
and then what's going forward this year.
Mhm.
And I actually did really good.
Oh yeah, I was like I remember trying to remember my goals and I did not, but it's okay.
Mine was I wanted to qualify for Worlds with Rye, and we did that. We didn't race there, but we did qualify.
Mhm.
I wanted to get a Worlds podium, which I did, just. But I
Hey,
did.
podium's a podium.
That's right, but I did. So that was my two big goals for the year, and I hit them. So that was good. Those were the major A goals. I think there was other little ones, but
Yeah.
I don't really remember too many. I know we had talked about one for next year, but we'll talk about that later. But
hmm
but yeah, I was like, okay, I did good. I did good on those ones. I did not too bad. Do you remember what you were gonna do?
Yeah, I know I said I wanted to do sub 70 for the High Rocks in Toronto,
Mm-hmm.
and I ran a 113, so I did not. Yeah, it was close. It was a struggle for me, and I'm not making I don't want to make excuses about, but it was harder with a lot of life things that came up in gym things like a gym expansion and stuff like that right before. So my training wasn't like super there, I think, to really go sub 70 because that's a pretty big mark, I think, for someone like me. So it's still there within my reach. So
I
that
mean,
would still
you're just a good day away.
Yes, I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah. And a good training block that's
Yeah.
not interrupted by too much in life. And that's always really my issue is like, I got a lot going on otherwise in a business and kids and which is that's all good stuff. It's just putting in a solid block is just kind of the struggle right now. Or has been this year with just so many things going on, like a double gym expansion and so it's just really being able to put in the work that I know that needs to happen in order to make that happen is yeah, it'll come. I know it will. So Yeah, I wanted sub 70 in Toronto. It was close, but not quite. And then I wanted to podium with Heather in all three relays at DEKA World. So and defend our title again on the DEKA Fit relay. So we podiumed into we missed on the strong, which is fair. And then
We knew that strong was going to be a hard one.
yeah, the strong was like, okay, maybe,
Mhm.
maybe. Kind of a long shot,
It
but
was a
we
stacked field.
and we were fifth. It's not like we were
No,
like blown out of the water and like it was completely unrealistic for us to
no.
consider that as a, you know, yeah, and then the fit, obviously we ended up third, but that's okay. But those were my big goals anyways for last year.
So this year coming up, we had before said that we would both try to make a pro RX1
Oh yeah.
for 2025, and I don't think I'm going to do it.
No?
Because mostly because I don't know how many RX1s I'm going to get to. Because if I am refereeing for DECA at their events, there's a lot of date clashing.
Yeah.
So that's what I mean. I literally don't know that I will. It's going to be a wait and see. I actually probably could if I got the right event, I could do it.
Well,
Like
that's what I'm thinking in my head. I could do it.
if the
It
chips
just
fall right,
yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
But
Don't give me a muscle up.
what's that?
As long as there's no muscle up.
See, I got that now. I can do that.
Mm,
It's for me. It'll be the heavier snatches. That's what would keep me up. Oh,
yeah.
handstand walk too. Handstand walk. That would be.
Yeah, I can do that. I can do that. Yeah.
So I mean, it's just one of those where if the cards fell right, like the
Yeah.
first one last year was so close. I could have done the first one last year now. Because
Hmm.
before it was the weight was just about 10 pounds, 15 pounds too much on
Yeah, or like a crazy barbell, like a snatch or something.
yeah.
I don't.
But on the first
Yeah.
event last year, remember the one we went to there, and it was
Yeah,
rainy and all that. And like I said, that event there this year,
same.
I could
Yeah.
have done that one. But now, I don't know. We'll see. Anyway, so I think that one's still kind of lofty. It may not happen.
Yeah, I kind of forgot about RX1 when I was thinking about my goals.
Yeah, and it's very far for you. Like
It's a
it's
long drive.
far for me, and it's another 2 hours for you.
Yeah.
Like it's tough that way. It is a shame. Um,
Yeah.
so that was one of the goals. So, but do you know what you're going for this year, or is it because this is a bit of a transition year for you? It's a little bit different for you this year, isn't it?
Yeah, and it feels like a transition year for me too because I still feel very much like I'm pulled in different directions because like what my heart really wants to do, but what there's part of it too that I'm already committed to.
Mhm.
Um I turned 40 this year. So there's a obviously a jump up in age divisions and just psychologically there's a shift that happens here. It's a turning of a decade. I really struggled when I turned 30, like really struggled when I turned 30 because in my head I kind of had it that, your best athletic years happen in your 20s. Um, so I was like, ah, it's over when I turned 30. But
Turns
I
out
don't,
you're wrong.
was that?
Turns out you were wrong.
Turns out I was wrong. Um, and I don't feel that way so much now, but just um, I want it to be a good year, kind of changing over the decades and make a statement being 40. And I think it's so cool seeing women that still just do really awesome things in their 40s. And obviously Amy Belavacqua is one, but we have girls like Susanna um uh
Locomotive.
her, yeah, she's 45 and came third at Spartan Beast in Abu Dhabi and women and even in the track world in Canada here with we have Natasha Wodak who's 43 and we have Melinda Elmore who's in her 40s who made 3 Olympic teams like and made the last one too. So there's women that are doing more and more later and still into their 40s and still getting stronger and faster and so there I think with that still going on now. And I don't think 10 years ago I saw that really. Times have really changed in the past decade with what we see with what women are doing later in life. And with all of that in mind, my perspective has changed a little bit about where my athletic life is still could still go. So yeah, my perspective is different, but still, there's a massive turning of the page. And so with it being my 40th too, I also want to think about the things that really bring me joy in racing. And I do miss being in the mountains. And we've talked about this before. Obviously, we do end up racing a lot of DEKAs and traveling to these places where we're indoors the whole time. Just it does start to get to me because I really do, I'm a cross country girl at heart and I love racing. I love being in the mountains. And although I don't get to train in them, it's really what gets me really excited. And then you get to see parts of the world and views that are just so unique and rare. And I do miss that with doing hybrid racing. Um, so I have thought about a couple things and I have to kind of see how things play out running wise, but I have had my eye on doing the Canadian Mountain Racing Championships for the last couple of years. Which again is so out of my wheelhouse considering the women that race it who all live, in Quebec and out west, basically. But I think just to do it and throw my hat in the ring just for fun, with no expectations whatsoever about placing or anything, but just to
Oh,
have a good time.
yeah.
Um, and it is in Quebec again this year, which is not as bad as it being out in BC where it usually is. So I might, yeah, and then maybe a longer trail event like a 50K in the mountains, probably in Quebec again. So yeah, that's kind of where, but the first half of the year is still High Rocks focused because Jeff and I are racing the World Championships in doubles. We qualified and we do have a goal to podium in our age group in doubles, and I do believe that's possible. Go sub 60. Um, yeah, we were very close in Toronto with a 62. So yeah, that's kind of the first 6 months of the year and then keep building my running volume throughout that and then kind of see if we can get back to some mountains after that.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I have no interest in going to the mountains.
I know.
I'm
But
actually,
you would pit crew for me.
I would absolutely pick Crew and I would kick ass at it.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if I'd be as good as Jeff, but I would kick ass.
Yeah.
But yeah, yeah, absolutely. Oh, I love doing pick Crew stuff.
Mhm.
Yeah, honestly, it's just for me, the only reason I don't like that stuff is just because my job is so physical that I just can't risk the ankle and knee stuff from the
Yeah.
tricky descents and stuff like that. And it's just that's the only reason because I like doing those races, right? I love
Mhm.
OCR. I
Yeah.
miss the obstacles. It's just become yeah that I'm that age where it's like okay, that's just a little too much for me to risk to be bombing down the mountains.
Yeah.
And yeah, and I mean I've had knee trouble in the past, and I'm just like I'm good right now. I'm healthy. I'm solid. I'd like
Mhm.
to keep that way. So that stuff just plain old scares me now. I'm just getting
Yeah.
old and scared. But I have big decking goals for this year, which I've always had. I intend to qualify for at least 6 different events.
Mhm.
I won't race them all, but I'm going to qualify. But
Mhm.
I would like to race like 4 of them.
Mhm.
So when we'll see, and we'll see how that all goes with the ref and stuff and everything between there, and see how that goes. But yeah, like this year there's the over 45 ruck division, and yeah, I'm gonna push pretty hard there. And plus one and I well, age up, and we're coming hard at those relays.
Mhm.
So that's kind of my goal for that. But I am gonna branch out a bit this year, and I'm looking to go into some rowing competition, some indoor rowing.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, I mean, my times have really picked up a lot. Just looking to do some sprint stuff, 500 meters, 1 minutes. I mean, they have like 100-meter events. So, I mean,
Mhm.
really crazy stuff, which, to be honest, I'm not big enough to be world class
Do
even.
they have weight classes in rowing competitions?
Yeah, but they got 2 classes.
Oh.
They got heavy and lightweight.
Oh.
So I'm like, I'm that zone where could I get to be lightweight? I've been there before.
You mean you're not even in the weight class of lightweight?
Not even close.
What?
It's like 165,
Oh, okay.
right? So, okay, so like I said, I've been down to 166 as an adult. And I mean,
Uh-huh.
that was
So sorry, you have to be under 165.
under 166 to be in lightweight. Yeah.
So you're not lightweight. You're so everything above
Everything
165.
above that is heavyweight.
Oh no.
So, and
You're right
so,
at the bottom.
yeah, so I'm like right at the bottom, right? So anyway, so I mean, just, and with my height, yes, it's not really perfect for me. But that said, looking at the times I see, I'm not that bad and I'll be in the mix. I'm just not going to be world caliber. But this does directly translate to helping me with DEKA and with other events and the fitness, and I do enjoy it and it's good fun. And
Mhm.
that's kind of our thing. So I'm going to branch out. I've been talking to Alondra a little bit and getting some advice on when some events are. Actually, there is a big one coming up mid-February down in, I think in Boston area, but I can't make that just because the timing of the date. But yeah, I'm gonna try some. I try some online ones and just whatever, have a
That's
little fun with
fun.
it. Yeah, because most of them, like I said, they're sprints, 500 meters, and some I mean 500 meters and under, essentially what I'm gonna do. So nothing will be more than a minute and a half. So crazy, and even like the 100 meters are like, you know, anywhere from 13 to 17 seconds.
Wow.
Just,
Yeah.
just fun stuff. So that's a side thing for me. It's getting a little more into that.
Hmm.
So yeah, I think that'll be good. And then, like I said,
That's
Deca Worlds, we're looking to put a big mark this year.
mhm. I
Yeah.
wish we knew where it was.
Locale.
My guess.
What would you, if it was there again, would you be disappointed? Because I kind of wouldn't.
So this was a better venue than they've had.
I think so. The big screen up top was good.
I loved that actually.
The accommodations were easy to find.
Yeah.
There was,
Our
flight,
place was awesome. I would sit there again.
fantastic place.
Yeah. Mhm.
Um, and then, and like, yeah, it's 90 minutes from the airport, but really that's not that bad, at least in my mind. You know, it,
Yeah.
you know, it's that point where, yeah, you're going to need a rental car. But,
Yeah.
and
I do not want to race 2 weeks before, 10 days before Christmas again.
no, if had my way, it would be in November for sure. I would
Mhm.
like, then we get into that American Thanksgiving thing. That's the problem. So, but either way, earlier, it was, even though it was on my birthday, which was a lot of fun and really cool.
We forgot your birthday.
I
Mhm.
actually forgot my birthday, which was I've ever done. So I would like it to be a little earlier too. When would you want it? When would you pick?
Well, yeah, like November, but like mid-November, I find it so hard to go much past that from a season standpoint. Um, it's really hard to have a proper off season when you're racing right into the depths of December and then, when you're getting into like cold and flu season, like everything like we
There's a
were all
lot of
so sick. I felt like my body was like hanging on and then I was just like, I'm sick. I'm just gonna be sick. Um yeah, and then you come back and we had 9 days till Christmas and it was too much, like too just not a good time of year. So it's got to be out of December.
yeah. I'm still recoiling from it all. Like I'm back to working out and everything, but I'm still like, work schedule's not been
No.
normal and family
Yeah.
schedule's not been normal and
Yeah.
you know, and we still got New Year's Eve to go this week, or sorry, 2 days ago.
Yeah. Yeah.
Either way, so yeah, it's a bit of a thing, but yeah, hopefully it's a little earlier. There are definitely things that I would like different, and I mean, I think we'll go through that at some other time. But there's a lot of stuff to change.
Yeah.
I would like to.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, all right, let's do what we're gonna do because something happened, and we gotta. I'm upset with us as a community.
Yeah.
We have let ourselves down very badly. So there was the OCR Buddy Awards, and I don't blame OCR Buddy because they do a good job and they're a good app and they're really doing great things for the community and they're trying to get people involved. And they did nothing wrong. We as a community completely failed them because the awards are a freaking mess.
So I'm assuming this was nomination based.
It was nomination based, and I actually did put in some nominations too. So,
Okay.
but what I'm saying is that like there's not a ton of awards for our stuff. Nobody else is doing this. There used to be Mud Run Guide was doing it, and I think there was somebody else that did it, and then the OCR Buddy. There was like three different people doing it. Now OCR Buddy is like the only people doing this, and we as a community shit the bed on them.
Hmm.
I think because some of them just don't make any sense. So Beth and I decided we need to go through this and put who we think should be deserving of these awards and maybe like some of our top threes and so and some of them we're not going to touch, right? Some of them like we don't have the expertise to touch.
No, and it's not really worth it.
No, like some of them, like to be honest, the ninja ones are probably worth it, but we're not in touch enough with that
Yeah.
community, what's going on there
Yeah.
to say anything about that. And then some of the actual like community awards as well. That's
Yeah, it's more for like the small community that is around.
yeah. It's
Yeah.
so I mean we'll probably leave those alone. But the big ones we'll go through because well, let's face it, as a community, we made a lot of fucking mistakes. Some of them we were just dumb on.
Mhm.
All right. So what do we got? What do we got? Because you are the driver here.
Well, yeah, so I went through them and I picked out the ones that are relevant to what we talk about on our podcast and the ones that would make the most sense to us. And some of them I still didn't really have a great answer for because I felt like in a lot of ways the OCR world was very disjointed this year.
Mhm.
And which made some of this a little bit tricky. Like the amount of championships we had also made it difficult to think about like OCR athletes of the year because it's like what event are we looking at now?
Yeah, yeah,
You know,
yeah.
we had Beast championships, we had FISO, we had Trifecta championships, we had OCRWC, like we had so there was
5K
just
championship in Croatia, the 100-meter championship in Croatia.
yes.
Yeah,
So
there's a lot
there
of
was there was so much disjointedness and which made it a little bit tricky in that sense. And even then when we talk about events and stuff, it's like there were so many different we're all just and when we kind of talk about this too, it's like we kind of saw what we maybe saw online. But we weren't a huge part of most OCR events this year,
yeah,
you
yeah.
and I. So, but anyways, from the top, the first one was best overall event, OCR event.
So here's the problem. Like I thought about this because when there was nominations,
Uh-huh.
and the problem is so many OCR events had a crap year for their event. Like normally I would say
Uh-huh.
OCRWC,
It always won this one.
and
But
deservedly so.
yeah,
But this year was not a great year for them.
no, the numbers were low. Again, it was, a location that was difficult to get to. And
It was,
yeah,
yeah, it wasn't so. I mean, well, it wasn't from what I heard, it wasn't a horrible event. It's just not what they normally would be.
it wouldn't be a world championship as far as like the depth of the fields that were there.
Yeah, and then Costa Rica FISO, which would have been another thought, was a bit of a shit show from what we hear.
Yep.
So,
Yeah.
I mean, they're not going to be
Had the
up there.
potential again, but
So, honestly, um, some of the other ones, some of the lesser ones, like the European Championships, I heard were fairly decent.
yeah.
Were there. And you do have to say you could throw in there for some of the big events and let's take away the coverage, but Alula, Tough Mudder Alula with the 8-hour event.
Right.
That was a
Yeah.
big deal. That and lots of prize money there.
Well, there was a lot of prize money, but again, we didn't have coverage. There wasn't
No.
like spectatorship.
Mhm.
It was kind of way off a beaten path. I
So I will tell you the one that I actually nominated and that I think should be considered is the 5K Spartan Championship in Croatia.
okay.
5K World Championship Spartan in Croatia. That's the one Nicole Miracle, Mr. Spirit Throw, and then passed Susanna at the kind of the final stretch of the rigs to take the win there. It was a beautiful course. It was well presented. The athletes all looked like they had a good event. This it just
We had coverage.
we had great coverage.
And this was the one too where they were on cobblestone streets.
Yes.
Okay. This is one where I'm mixing it up a little bit, I think, with the trifecta
Yeah, yeah, no, no, it wasn't the trifecta one. This was
Okay.
the Croatia one where, and they had the big swims.
Yeah, which and they had to wear goggles, or they chose to wear goggles, or
I think some of them did. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
I just remember seeing videos of Nicole running with goggles on her
Because
head.
they were pretty long swims. They were pretty long.
Yeah, that's cool though.
Yeah, but I mean, I watched it and just the scenery, the event, it all
Yeah,
looked really good.
yeah.
Um, and from everybody I've heard of said it was a great event and there was good competition. Like it was a
Mhm.
good lineup. So for me, that's the one that I think as far as top OCR event of the year, I think it's that one.
Mhm.
I mean,
Yeah.
chickens
So
are
then we'll say that because then the next one was top OCR event, weekend event.
a weekend, so like full weekend event.
So then maybe we'll say the trifecta because
Yeah,
I always see this one and I think that one looks so cool when like they run through the streets and stuff.
I got no problem with that. I'll go with that too. But the only thing I can ask about that, do you think it's going to cheapen it a little bit, like bringing it to the States?
Well, it depends on where they bring it, but yeah, I think having it in Sparta is just
It
so
it might lose some of its allure.
yeah.
It's still going to be a great event, and from my understanding, I think they're bringing it to West Virginia, and the course is supposed to be an amazing place to have a course, and other people have been
So
at
if it's the is it
the Great
uh
thing.
yeah, this is an amazing venue.
That's what I hear. But I
Yeah.
think just that allure isn't quite the same.
Yeah, different vibe for sure.
Yeah. So anyway, so yeah, I would go for that for a weekend event. Yeah, that is a very cool weekend event, and
Yeah.
I think sometimes should be considered Spartans World Championship.
Yeah, I've thought about this too, and then we don't, then the season can kind of, it happens end of August, and then we don't have to keep going so deep into the fall too. But
And for the first time ever, I think you and I have put two Spartan events as like the best events of the year. That's not happened before.
well, they can put on a pretty good show.
They can. It's just normally we've just been so devout OCRWC because they've done so well. And I believe in 2026 when they come back, having it in the warmer time of the year and
Yeah.
having it on the East Coast, I expect like a 50% improvement in signups. And I think
Yeah.
we're going to see a complete resurgence of OCRWC next year on
Yeah.
2026.
I actually did forget that it was coming to West Virginia, and I had thought that I would probably do that one as a like the trifecta.
Oh yeah, 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 yeah. I
Yeah.
think you should.
Yeah.
I
Mhm.
think it'll be so much fun. It'll be a great
Yeah.
weekend.
It
It
was actually West Virginia is one of my favorite venues that I've ever raced in.
it's one that I'm actually like considering. I probably won't run in it, but I would actually consider going down just to be there to watch
It's
it.
very cool. And they did used to let you camp in the parking lot.
There you go, right up my alley.
Because there were showers and everything there.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I definitely going to look
I
into
don't
it.
know if they still do, but they used to.
And who knows, maybe I'll run a sprint or something like that just to learn.
Mhm.
But I think I just think it'll be a fun event. So that's cool.
It,
All right.
it had a long swim and everything. So,
Best championship, right? Is that what best championship was Spartan Croatia?
mhm.
And the best
Weekend.
weekend is the trifecta. And just for the record, do you know what OCR Buddy had on theirs?
No.
Good, we'll leave it. Maybe it was the same.
No.
No, it
I don't
wasn't.
know. I don't know.
It
I don't
wasn't.
think
Oh,
I didn't.
Riley.
Yeah. No, it was a lot of it was so much local stuff.
It was, and they're good stuff. They are good,
Yeah.
right? There's
Yeah.
nothing wrong with it.
Like Phoenix and stuff like
Yes,
that.
and we love Phoenix Race. We love Julie. We love
Yeah.
what is it, Midwest OCR, and like
Yeah.
they're awesome. But we come on, come on.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right,
So best standalone hybrid weekend.
best standalone hybrid weekend. So
So
you got
I said Rally in the Valley. Like I didn't go to it, but
interesting.
if I was gonna go to one as a weekend event,
So maybe I'm misinterpreting this. So is it standalone meaning that's all it is? It's just the one weekend. So that means like let's say High Rocks World Championship and DEKA World Championship. Would they count for that?
Hmm.
Yes, they would, or yes, they wouldn't.
Yeah, I would say so.
That they do count?
Yeah.
Okay. Um, hmm. I never even thought about what you said, a rally in a valley. That is interesting.
Hmm.
Um, well, wow. As much as I would like to say DECA because I worked it and went to it and was a big part of it, I think still at this point, High Rocks Nice, their world championship where they had, especially when they threw in the countries and the relays against each other,
Mm-hmm.
I think that one might have to take it.
Yeah.
I like your thinking with the rally in the valley though. That's
Hmm.
pretty cool.
Yeah. It's just an event that I think could be so awesome to be a part of. Obviously we're totally different scales. Like they
Mhm.
had ones like large and small race weekends,
Yeah.
or race
So,
series.
so let's divide this up, okay?
Okay, so if we had small scale race
Yeah.
weekend,
I think if we reword this to, if we were to best hybrid race weekend overall, then we can give that to High Rocks for Nice. Then if we add that, like you say, standalone race weekend, so then it
yeah,
becomes just a race that is just for that weekend. So you can have Thieves and Beggars, you can have Rally in the Valley,
right.
you can have
Mhm.
Battle Bunker, you can have RX1 Finale, which is
Right.
really only one day, but you can put all those into it, and then you can pick Rally in the Valley.
That's what you're asking.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking is like it would be well, and the weekend thing I also think about like a multi-day
Yeah.
event,
Yes.
so
Yeah. Yeah.
not just a race experience. So
Yeah. So I will give you that. So we've made a new one, and Rally in the Valley gets it.
mhm. Yeah.
Quickly created. Yeah, an event for Rally in the Valley. The other one too is that White Wolf Challenge, that Rose Day.
Hmm.
That's another good one too. Um, but yeah, Rally in the Valley, I think
Yeah.
it would be your winner for them. So there you go. Good award. Good
So
award.
then they had um best small OCR race series and best large OCR race series. And this one, I don't know for OCR race series what a small one. But again, this was very geared towards their community because they have so many small ones. We
Yeah.
don't really care.
Mhm.
So it
Do
didn't
you,
really
do you have what they
apply.
nominated for that one? Okay, Rye's gonna which one? Best small. This is what they had here. We had Highland Assault, Obstacle Wonderland, Phoenix Race OCR, and Nuclear Races. No, Nuclear Races. That is in England, so they got that one in there. Um, so 2 to 10 races, and it's OCR. 2 to 10 races for OCR. I mean, those are a decent choice, and it is since it is small ones. Um, Phoenix is not a bad choice. Somebody too, some Canadian ones. X Warrior X out in Calgary, Dead End Race in Quebec,
Yeah. Yeah.
for Extreme. They're all very good. Um,
Mhm.
but I think we'll give OCR Buddy the credit on this one and go with one of theirs.
Phoenix?
I go with Phoenix, yeah. Because
Yeah.
you know why? You know why?
I love Phoenix.
Because they're moving around.
Hmm.
And these other race series are more of a stay put thing, which is great and cool.
Yeah.
Phoenix is still kind of gave that traveling road show, so we just want to give them a little more support because that's harder to do.
It is harder for sure.
So we're
Yeah.
we're we're going with them. We're giving it to Phoenix. Good job, Julie and Jay.
Jason.
Jason.
Large OCR series. I mean, it kind of just was Savage, Spartan, Tough Mudder. And I don't really know if you want to pit them against each other because they all need each other here. And I don't, Spartan is still doing more than any of the other ones. Savage has seemed to struggle to branch out of the area that they're in. They do great races, but they're really stuck in the one coast. And I
I
mean,
again, I hate to do it, but I gotta give it to Spartan.
yeah.
And Tough Mudders, it's not really a race, right? They have like some races, but I don't. Yeah, so I
It's
just
an event.
yeah, it's an event.
Yeah.
It's a good event, and WTM is a great race. Sort of. I hate the penalty thing. Gotta fix it. It drives me nuts. But
Yeah.
there you go. That's another one. What I would have put best weekend event would be WTM if it wasn't for the goofy penalties.
Yeah.
Really bugs me. Yeah,
Yeah.
so Spark, I gotta give it to Spark for best large race. OC, it says OCR race series, right?
Oh, yeah, large OCR series.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I gotta give it to him.
Um, best hybrid fitness event. So we talked about this. So it's same.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. So yeah, because we did that. Yeah, event. Okay.
Yeah. So some of these were kind of repetitive and like,
Little
you know,
very subtle differences.
yeah. Okay, best OCR male athlete.
Okay, now this was where things got weird with OCR, buddy. And let's hear our nominations.
Yes.
Okay,
Three.
so our nominations here for best OCR male athlete, we only got three. Kevin Thompson, Brian Beal the second, who I actually think is Balin Beal, and Ryan Atkins.
Uh, yeah, who didn't really race this year?
Now, let's just see if we can throw out three. I'm gonna go with Gregory Basilico,
Yeah, that was on my list as the number one.
who honestly is yet my pick to be the best and had a great
Yeah,
year.
yeah.
Our boy Rylan Shadag did not have a bad year in OCR. He did some
Mhm.
okay stuff. Um, Even Leon Kofid, he got a couple of medals this year on world podiums.
Yeah.
Um, who else? There was a great
I mean,
European content.
with OCR though, you think about the European contingent and it's
Yeah. To be honest, even saying that Rylan had a good year, I don't think any American man cracks the top three this year.
no, no.
No.
OCR is so alive and well in Europe, and it's not the same right now in North America. So I mean, the males would come from
Yeah,
Europe. And Gregory Basilico, we saw a couple times. He won the Spartan Beast, their world championship, and consistently showing up. And that's who I would
that's
have.
who I
That
got
was
for this.
yeah, that's the first name that came to my mind. So
Yeah, yeah. So we'll give that to Gregory Basilico.
yeah,
And then was it the female OCR
female.
athlete? Yeah. Okay, best female OCR athlete of the year. And
Yeah,
they got a lot of names here.
yeah,
Yaris M. Cruz, Nicole Miracle, Rachel Waters, Jamie Hornopoulos, Kelly Sullivan, and Alyssa Petrova. Well, I'm going to take two of those and keep them up.
yeah. Agreed.
Nicole and Alyssa had great seasons. And
Yeah.
then if I was to throw in a third, even Susanna had some good performances. Esther, earlier in the year, had some good
Yes.
performances.
Yeah.
Mm, You know,
Or Ulrike.
yeah, oh, Ricky, yeah. Oh, yeah,
Hmm.
man. Yeah. During yeah. All right. I think for me, Nicole, Alyssa, and Ulrike would be the ones.
Yeah. And it's like head to head, Alyssa and Nicole, it was always a coin toss. I think Alyssa probably came out ahead a couple more times than Nicole.
Yeah,
So if I had to give it to someone, it would be Alyssa.
I think so. Like Alyssa came out at FISO ahead. She came out at the Beast ahead. I don't
Yeah.
think, yeah, Alyssa
The
was not there for the,
Alula.
yeah, Alula. She wasn't there for OCRWC. So yeah, I would have to give to Alyssa.
Yeah. Now, Nicole did beat her at FISU though, but there was that controversy
Oh
with the
yeah,
ball
yeah,
thing.
yeah. You're
Yeah.
right. You're right. I'm
Yeah.
still going to Alyssa, and it was close. It was close. And I'm a big fan of Nicole. Yeah, so
Yeah. Yeah. And you know what? Props to Nicole. She went to every championship this year.
she was the best representative of North America by far.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just she may single-handedly be keeping women's OCR in North America alive.
Yes. I
Sorry.
agree. On and giving attention still to the elite side of the OCR world.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. Yeah. So Alyssa Petrova. All
Yeah.
right, this one.
Uh, then best hybrid. This was probably the one where I was like, okay, there's something really wrong here with
By the
it.
way, we are not disrespecting any of these other athletes. They are
No, no.
fantastic.
Just some names that are glaringly missing.
Yeah, and I'm sure knowing Rachel, Kelly Sullivan, Jamie Hornopoulos, that none of them would be upset at the thought that they lost to Ricky or Nicole or Alyssa. I don't think
Right.
any of them would be at all concerned about that. So,
I know.
all right. So, and the same thing going forward with best hybrid male athlete. All right. These are the OCR Buddy nominees.
Same class.
No, I didn't quite make it, shockingly. Um, Kevin Gregory, just some logic there. Hunter McIntyre, again, there's some logic. Ryan Kent, there's logic. Brian Beal the second, who again I think is Balin Beal, but whatever. And I'm not sure it's ever. I don't know if Brian Beal the second is a person, not Balin Beal, and has ever done a hybrid race. I apologize. I do not know who you are, and I will look you up. Um, and Cole DeRosa, who is smashing hybrid in the over 50 division.
Okay, I wasn't
Dude's a
sure.
beast. He's an absolute monster, killing high rocks, killing Spartan races in the over 50 division. Is a great racer. But
But we are missing the world.
he's
Yeah.
he's an age grouper, all right? Like he's one of the best age groupers there is, but he's an age grouper.
How about some?
Let's just throw out some names here. Alex Bronkovich, pretty
Uh,
good.
Sandbach.
Mike Samet, James Kelly, not so bad.
Yeah.
Colin Stephers made some noise.
Uh-huh.
Oh, what's that? What's that guy? Rylan Shadag. He's okay.
Has the world record in every distance of DEKA.
Yeah, and is in the Elite 15 for high rocks.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. Dylan
arguably.
Scott.
Dylan Scott, not too shabby. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, there's some names we might be missing here, and this is again goes to all of these guys here are great racers, but let's be honest, okay. Kevin Gregory, great DEKA teams athlete, great for doing ultras, great for jumping into everything. Amazing strong athlete. Didn't quite get it this year, but still got on the podium.
Mhm.
So he's great. We all know what big fans we are of Kevin Gregory, but
Yeah.
no, he's not in the top three. Hunter McIntyre races one race a year pretty much, and he came fifth.
Yeah.
All right. Ryan Kent, by far his own admission, has not had a good year.
Mhm.
Right. And then, as we said, with Brian or Balin Beal and Cole DeRosa. So, yeah, if I was to pick three, I'm going to go with
Oh,
Alex, James Kelly, and Rylan Shadag.
Yeah. And I mean, Sandbach because where he finished at Worlds, but like I couldn't bet money on him finishing
No, no.
when he shows up to a start line. And I mean, that's just statistically speaking. But
Yeah,
I
you're
like
less than a
Alex,
50 shot.
yeah, yeah. It might even be less,
Might be
but
less now. Yeah.
but yeah, I mean Alex Ronkovich has been just tearing it up. So to
Oh,
me, that would have been the hybrid athlete of the year. And so the thing that's tricky is a lot of people look at, okay, well, he didn't race at DEKA,
mhm.
which is the other, but I think just what he's done in the high rock space though.
I think what he's done is amazing, but I am one of the ones who would take Rylan over him just because, and it's not just that Alex didn't do DEKA, he didn't do anything else,
Yeah.
right? And he is amazing. He's a great representative of the sport. I can say nothing wrong with that guy. I just, with Rylan being so dominant at DEKA, then being right up there in high rocks, and then
Yeah.
doing all these other ancillary things too, which to me kind of incorporates the hybrid.
What a hybrid athlete
Yeah.
is.
So that's why I give the nod to Rylan.
Yeah. Yeah, I could. Yeah. And he had a great year despite his health issues too.
Oh,
So,
yeah, fantastic. So, and
yeah.
the fact that he's a good guy it helps. Not that Alex is a great guy too. So is James Kelly. Most of them are. So, all
Yeah.
right. After that, we had best ninja athlete. We're not going to touch. Oh no, sorry.
No.
Oh, I missed it.
Female.
Right, the female one. Okay, this guys, come on, guys. We really fucked this up.
This one was messed up.
This was messed up, and there is no insult to this, but we only got two women on the board. Lauren Weeks, sure, and Rachel Waters. We love Rachel Waters. She's a great athlete. She's a great person, and she races her ass off everywhere she goes, and she jumps into anything. But we're just gonna let's say throw a few other names out. Meg Jacoby,
Meg Jacoby.
pretty good. Vivian Defudo,
Mhm.
not too bad. Tara Jackson's won a few championships. Doing all right. Just a couple.
Joanna.
Joanna, yeah, she's doing pretty solid. Kat Fassbender's not too shabby.
Yeah.
Katie Duke had a hell of a year.
Yeah. Kate. Other
Brooklyn Nichols, I mean, there's a lot of names here. And again, I don't think Rachel will take any insult from this whatsoever. But yeah, I mean, I don't even consider Rachel a hybrid athlete. Yes, she jumps in and she dabbles and she holds her own because she's an absolute monster.
Yeah.
But I would more consider Rachel an OCR athlete.
I think she would consider herself an
Yeah,
OCR
especially the way
first and
like
foremost.
her success in Savages and stuff like that. It's just
Yeah.
so yeah, we dropped the ball on this one, guys.
Yeah.
So for me, if I was to pick the three, it's going to be Meg, it's going to be Lauren, it's going to be Tara, and I'm going to give the nod to Lauren.
Yeah, I was like, man, this it's always like Lauren or Meg. And I mean, the only reason I would say Lauren is similar to what you said about Rylan, where Lauren will throw her hat into other things.
Yeah,
And she came to DEKA, she won the fit, she took the world record at the fit, running very much,
dominant.
yeah, from the gun, uncontested. Um, she's doing an ultra, and that's not in 2024, but she runs road races. Like she wins half marathons. Like she definitely is throwing her hat into a lot of different venues.
Right, she just got into a 100K race recently.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. She's running an
Yeah.
ultra um in like 5 weeks, four
Yeah,
weeks.
yeah.
And so she, as far as the hybrid athlete is concerned, I think Lauren Weeks takes the cake on this one. Meg Jacoby obviously being
Oh,
world champ in High Rocks, but admittedly so is 100% all into High Rocks.
and
Whereas
someone,
Morgan's like, I love to do other things too.
yeah, yeah, and Meg, if someone was to pick Meg, I would not, I would not mock them or make fun of
Yeah.
them. I'm like, yeah, I mean, I get it, I get it.
But like it always is with Meg and Lauren, it's a coin toss.
Yeah, it is, and it almost sometimes it's like, what's happened lately, and that recency bias, and the
Yeah.
fact that Meg's been injured recently and Lauren's been on fire, kind of tilts that recency bias in Lauren's way.
Yeah, fair.
By the
Mhm.
way, speedy recovery, get well soon, get back at there.
Yeah.
We're looking forward to seeing you back on the course, Meg.
Mhm.
Yeah, she is absolutely amazing. And the reason I put Tara on here instead of Joanna or someone like that is the same thing. Tara is everywhere, doing everything, jumping at all there. And she does, she might be more focused on DECA than any of them, but she goes out there and she wins her championships. And
Mhm.
she is just an absolute beast when it comes to that. And she still competes, you know, she's in that top, what is it, top 25, top 30 for High Rock. So, if she spikes a good race here or there, she could slip into that top 15. So,
Yeah.
so yeah, that's why I have her in that third spot.
Yeah. And I mean, a name that we didn't say, but normally in most years we would, is also a Christopher Glosky,
Oh
who
yeah.
was injured a fair bit of this year, as far as I understand, based on social media. So, but normally someone who also dabbles in everything. So, but I think right now, with the way these sports are going, not the top of the top in anything because of her breadth of what she likes to
Yeah.
do. But yeah, definitely another name worth mentioning
Oh
there.
yeah, for sure. All right.
Ninjas.
Ninjas, is that
That
it?
was kind of all of the ones that I felt like were
Okay.
applicable.
All right. Let me just see the list here just to see if there's anyone other one that jumps out to me. Adaptive. I win that because I'm not very bright. All right, I do have one thing. Obstacle of the year. Gibbons by Race Ready Obstacles. Here's this. This is the thing. I know Race Ready Obstacles makes Gibbons, but I'm sorry, that will always be a Force 5 obstacle in my mind. They were the first ones to make it. That's just, and Riley's Death Sprint to try Skeletor's Revenge by Midwest OCR.
Sorry, this we're talking about the best obstacle.
Yeah, best obstacle of the year.
Okay.
So I don't know, Savage Rig, we know. Colossus by Savage Race, that's just a big ramp wall. Gibbons, we know Gibbons. And then Skeletor's Revenge by Midwest OCR. I'm going to vote for that just because Riley loves Skeletor from He-Man. And
Okay.
I've never seen it. I don't know what it is, but that's what it is. That's the obstacle of the year. Not having ever seen it.
That's a nation.
That's the nomination. Yeah, yeah. Race venue. Well, we could change that one. All right. Best venue. Yeah, there you go. Best venue, OCR hybrid for you. What do you think this year?
Uh, well, like we said, Croatia looked absolutely beautiful.
Yeah.
Like I think that one would have taken it too. If I obviously didn't go there, but of the ones where I was having some serious FOMO, it
Yeah.
was Croatia.
I'm gonna go with that here. Okay, here. This is the last one, or not last one. Fan Choice Podcast.
Oh,
Here are the
Like
nominees.
you weren't nominated, but
Here are the nominees. The Running Public, OCR Report, Iowa Spartan, Flex with Leah, Obstacle Racing Media. Yeah, we weren't nominated again. I we don't care. But other than us, who would you say best podcast? Who do you listen to any other ones?
I'll check in with Race Brain once in a while. I like their
Yeah.
stuff.
Funny because Race Brain isn't on that list either.
Well, I know I was interested in that too because I would have thought like of the but again, it's my personal bias too, but like I really enjoy Race Brain. Four great guys.
Yeah.
Uh you kind of I mean, you have the mix of all of the expertise, so
Yeah. Yeah, so I would go with that too. And I can't say obstacle racing or hybrid fitness media because I go on that too much. Um, Good ones though. You know what? I'm just going to throw out some good podcasts though.
Mhm,
That aren't on that list. Obstacle Running Adventures with Mike and Caitlin.
mhm,
Always great. They do the most homework of any podcasters I've ever seen for OCR. They're fantastic. So Obstacle Running Adventures, check that out. UKHXR or the Fitness Racing Podcast over in England. They were probably the second podcast to get into IROX and everything. You know who the first was, right?
You
That'd be us.
Oh, to get into High Rocks.
Yeah,
Yes.
we were the first
podcast.
podcast about hybrid racing, fitness racing, whatever you want to call it.
Mhm.
But yeah,
That's when you coined the term.
that's right. That's when we coined the term with Megita. So but yeah, UKHXR or the Fitness Racing Podcast. It has two names with Ian K. He does a great job as well. Very it's European centric, but he covers it all. Really.
Mhm.
Obviously hybrid fitness, but they're kind of on there. Race Brain, who again, I have no idea why it's on it because I think it's probably the most popular one.
Yeah, like that's what I would have assumed.
Mhm. Yeah. Well, who knows? Another good one that Bethany was recently on, The Competitive Edge.
Yeah, no, that he has some good content too, and it's about balancing like real life with being a competitive athlete.
Now I'm going to put it out there. He's more of an intelligent guy,
You guys have a different vibe. Yeah,
thinking a little more.
yeah, yeah. He probably plans his questions a little bit more than you do.
Yeah, I don't know what's up with that. And dude's a monster.
Yes, yeah, he was at DEKA Worlds. Yeah,
He's a monster. He's just
yeah,
just to look at him too, like and he
yeah.
played hockey, so there's a Canadian connection there.
Yes, he does play hockey. But
Yep.
yeah, I know I think the initial aim of his podcast was about fatherhood. But I would say more a parenthood shift and but yeah, it's good conversations, especially for people that are, living a lifestyle where you're trying to work around everything and he talks a lot about mindset within sport. So if that's kind of where your interest is, then that might be a good one to check out.
He's never asked me, and I'm a dad. Just saying. Might be
Well,
good.
you also said that he's a really intelligent guy.
Yeah, I know. That's probably why too. And he talks about mindset, and I clearly have none of that. What's your mindset going into the race? Huh?
I don't know. Where's the pizza after?
Yeah. How quickly can we get this done? Yeah. Yeah. So those are
Oh,
a few
and
good
then
ones.
so another new one I just wanted to mention because I've had someone first sent to me is Kayla Citadano. She
Yeah,
has
I did
one
listen
that's
to one of
also
hers.
yeah, that's also very much like a mindset based one and performance.
The one I listened to hers, and this I'll take this my hat off to anybody who can do this. The one I listened to with her, she did it on her own.
I think she does most of it on her own.
That is not easy.
Mhm.
Like that is really hard to do. Even if you've ever just sat there, even just trying to record something for yourself or for someone later on to just sit there and just look at that screen and it's just you.
Yeah.
It's really hard. And to keep it relevant and flowing, that takes that's a knack. That's a real trick. So
Yeah.
yeah. And again, another great athlete too.
Yeah. Mhm.
Well, those are good. I'm sure we missed some, but I just, some of them I want to throw in. But obviously we're the best, so we should have won.
Yeah.
Unbiased.
Mhm. But
But
if anyone listening to this ever has any topics that they would love us to talk about in moving into 2025 as we kind of make our plans, then you can shoot it our way.
lands.
We would love to do a little bit of research on something.
It's funny. I do look some things up. I may exaggerate my lack of concern for stuff, and actually I do try a little harder than I say. It's just like I actually do run a little too. Not a lot, but a little bit.
Mhm. Maybe.
Maybe. I not very much this week. Running's hard. All right. I think we're good. And to OCR buddy, thank you very much for doing the awards. Thank you for all you do for the community. And if you've never checked out the OCR buddy app, take a look because what it essentially is an app that maps out all the events on the year. So if you have like you want to find a cool event to run to or go to, great. Look OCR buddy and check it out. And they don't just do OCR, they do hybrid races as well. You'll see RX1 on there. You'll see DEKA, High Rocks, all the events, you'll find them on OCR Buddy. Um, and maybe next week I'll tell you my OCR Buddy story. I've said it before, but it never hurts to repeat. All right, let's go home.
Yeah, thanks everyone for listening and cheers to 2024. It was a great year. So thanks everyone who's been our listener this year and on to 2025 and setting some awesome goals and crushing them this year.
Take care.